Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Hope that you and your families are all doing well, you're healthy, and you're safe. But anyway, so here's what we got today. For our broadcast today, we're going to do a little recap of last month. We're going to recognize some of the top 10 for last month. We have some outstanding performances and some people really battling and out there and doing a really great job. And then we're going to hear from some of those folks and kind of see, what are their secrets to success. So really what I hope you do is have a pen and paper, or if you're watching this on your iPad, you have your phone, or if you're watching on your phone, you have your iPad. Take some notes and jot down some ideas from this. And I'm going to say this now because I always forget to say this at the end of these broadcasts. But when this is over, on your GroupMe's, throw out a couple of the ideas that you hear from some of these folks that are being really successful during these times, and what you're going to do to really kind of up your game and make some money and be successful so you can provide for yourself and your families. So with that being said, last month, if you remember, for April's broadcast, we heard from some folks, and Jordan Foss out of Baltimore, he was talking about the pests don't know that there's a pandemic going on. So making sure that when you're reaching out to people and people are setting, kind of not now, but really kind of creating that urgency and kind of educating them on the fact that mice and rodents and they're still getting into the businesses and restaurants and things like that. And there's a lot of restaurants that are doing carry out, so they still need the service. They still need the pest control. We had Tom Pollard from Vermont come on, and if you remember, he was talking about he's got bills to pay. So he has no choice, but he's got to get out there and work. And amen. And we all have bills to pay, so we got to make sure that we're out there making the most and getting those paychecks. But he also talked about being in communication with his route managers and talking to his route managers that the areas that he's going to be working in and what they're seeing, what businesses are open, and what businesses they're getting into. So the communication with your route managers, and hopefully you remember that from last broadcast, and we're doing that. We heard from Rob Beery talking about the whole key to success, doesn't matter what's going on in commercial pest control, is having a 30, 60, 90-day funnel that you're constantly building up your pipeline and making sure you're following up with all those folks and still adding to your pipeline and keep going on. We heard from Jordan Bosmany, who he was talking about, kind of what changed up his game a little bit was focusing on different verticals that were open during this, and the ones that to create that sense of urgency, and that's how he's been successful. But let's do this. Let's do our top 10 for the month of April, and let's recognize some of these folks that are out there grinding and doing a great job. So let's roll that film. All right, so before I talk about the top 10, I want to apologize for making your ears bleed with that music. I do. I apologize for the music selection in this, but it seems like anytime I play some good music that I like in these things, I end up having to write a letter of apology saying I'm sorry and getting, kind of getting a little bit of trouble for it. So, but anyway, apologize about the music. But hopefully that didn't take away from recognizing the top 10, because there's a lot of folks last month that are still, like I said, they're out there grinding and doing a good job and putting up some numbers. And so what I want to do is I want to hear from a few of these folks and kind of talk about what they're doing to be successful. And again, I hope jot some notes, jot some ideas down of what these folks are doing, and that way you can put it into what you're doing. So the first person that I want to talk about or have speak is, up in North Jersey, where, Jersey's kind of like we're supposedly this epicenter, Jersey, New York City. But Patty from Northern Jersey, she's our number one VitaClean salesperson right now, and she's selling a bunch of this stuff. And so Patty, what are you doing to get a lot of this VitaClean sales?
Hey, good morning, guys. Tim Brady, bless his little heart, asked me to share with you guys what I'm doing for VitaClean as far as getting some things out there. So I had Ryan Murphy do my VitaClean sheet, and he actually changed and manipulated and put my name, cell phone, and email on the second page of it, if you can see it right there. And then what I'm doing is I actually fold it up, put it in an envelope with my business card on this side and VitaClean disinfecting. And then I make about 10 copies a week and I hand it out to my 4 techs, and they basically hand them out when they're out doing their regular service. Or if they stop somewhere and they see somebody, they'll just give it to them, and it's given me a lot of business. So good luck. I hope this works for you. Manipulate it and put your name on it.
Aw, thanks, Patty. Bless my little heart. That's nice. But, what she's doing out there with putting together those packages, the envelopes with the materials in it for the VitaClean and putting her card on it and giving them to her route managers, to hand out when they're doing their services. I mean, that's a great idea. There's a ton of materials that you have from the marketing department that's on Scout that you could take and, kind of, I think she used the word manipulate, but put your information on there so these people could call you direct. And obviously she has a great relationship with the route managers that they're doing this, with her and kind of, partnering up with her to be able to do this for her. And speaking of, we talk a lot about the relationships, how important it is to have those great relationships with the route managers. So last week when I was calling some folks and congratulating them on their month, and I gave Wycliffe Thomas a call. You saw him in the top 10. And I asked him, hey, what's going on? How are you doing it? And he said that, his relationship with his route managers, he's getting a lot of business off. So I asked him how he's building that relationship. And this is a great story. So Wick, why don't you tell the folks what you're doing to build your relationships with your route managers?
Hey guys, it's Wycliffe, Branch 601 in Washington, D.C. One of the things that I'm doing to be able to set appointments during this time is I'm finding ways to connect with my technicians on a different level, on a very personal level. With everything going on, everybody running in different directions, a lot of them have needs for things like PPE and equipment, and they feel very isolated. They feel alone when they're in the field by themselves. They don't see the crowds that they usually see. And so me coming out and them seeing me by itself is helping. And I'm making it productive. I'm finding, if they need PPE, if they're running low on gloves or hand sanitizer or some material, I'm running it out to them and just helping them a little bit with it. And when I'm coming out, I'm coming prepared with something personal, not working related. I have to credit my wife with part of the idea, but just pulled together some little gift bags, and we've got some water with some vitamin C supplements. I'm bringing it out for them with, like an energy drink, just a couple of things to help them. Right now, they're on the front lines. They're going home and potentially exposing their family members to whatever they may expose on the job, and coming out with something and saying, hey, this is for you to be healthy and something for your family member as well. We care about you. Thank you for what you're doing. It's going a long way. I think they're recognizing that what I'm doing is not something I'm paid to do. This is not something that's normally part of my job, and it's just letting me connect on a deeper level beyond just the formalities on the job. So questions are coming out without fail of, what are you doing right now? Are you selling? How are you making money? And I'm able to be honest about it. I'm able to tell them, hey, right now we're focused on helping people. This is what we need to do. We need to find the right way to connect with people. And that resonates quite a bit with most of the technicians, and I'm finding a different level of trust. On the spot, a lot of them are giving me a handful of names of customers that they think I should approach with it. They're giving me contact name, contact information. Some of them are shooting me text messages over the next couple of days and weeks. Some of them are picking up the phone on the spot and calling a customer or two and saying, hey, I think you're gonna need the service. There's this guy Wycliffe that I trust. I'm going to have him call you because he knows the information inside out. But I'm going to give him your number. Is that okay? And they're saying yes without fail. And that's going a long way at building trust overall and just getting some appointments in with clients.
Man, so how about that? Talk about going above and beyond to build a relationship with your route managers. When he was telling me the story, and then when I was listening to this video, and thinking, if I'm a route manager and I got this sales guy who genuinely is showing genuine concern for me and my family, and delivering me my PPEs and giving me some vitamin water, some vitamin C packs, things like that, little care packages. I mean, I would do everything I possibly can to help this guy out in return to be successful. And that's exactly what he's doing. That's the dividends that it pays off. So Wycliffe, man, I tell you what, that's awesome. That is an awesome story. So thank you for that. So moving on, getting back to somebody who's being very successful with VitaClean, Robin Nucci down in DC. She also is being very successful with the VitaClean. So Robin, why don't you give us tell us how you're doing it.
Hi, it's Robin here. So I had a really good month last month, and Tim Brady called me and told me that I was in the top 10, which is awesome. And he asked me to put together a little video explaining exactly what I did. So here it goes. I went full throttle with the VitaClean, and I started off by making lists of all the different industries. My first industry that I went after were the nursing homes and the assisted living facilities, because they were in the hot spot at the time, probably still are. And I would call them, ask who the contact person was who was handling the COVID-19 protocols. I would get the name and the email. I would leave them a voicemail and then immediately shoot them an email with all of our information about our VitaClean program. The next day, if they didn't get back to me, I would call again, tell them that I sent them an email, and introduce myself again. And then, if a couple days went by and I still hadn't heard from them, I would shoot them another email. So it's basically like 4 touches. And my second industry that I went after were the country clubs. And actually now in Maryland, they are reopening as of today. So they are going to get a 5th touch because I've sent them all emails again. My big story from this is my very first sale. I had sent out emails to all of our current customers, and I spoke to one of my current customers, and she said, "No, Robin, we are good. We have a cleaning company that comes every week. They're amazing. They're going to take care of it." So I said, "Okay, no problem, Elena. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to send you the information about our VitaClean program. Just hold on to it just in case you need me." Sure enough, a week went by. She called me in a panic that they had a positive COVID-19 employee, and can we hurry up and bring our VitaClean program in, which we did. So that was great. I think we serviced her that day, which she was very grateful for. And then she ended up passing our name on to her cleaning company, who then gave me another lead for another customer that they were cleaning for who wanted disinfecting. So it kind of all snowballed in a really good way. And what I truly believe are all the emails and all the voicemails that I am leaving now for restaurants and stores and labs, I really feel like they are all going to come back around when their employees come back in or when they reopen. They have held on to my emails, remembered my voicemails, and I think they're going to call me. So that's what kind of motivates me, that I think that all of my work and all of my emails that sometimes at the time seem like nothing's happening, I really think that they're all going to work. So that's it. Thanks.
There you have it. The emails. How many of you, when this thing first started out, you sent out an email to all the customers that are in your territory? I think pretty much everybody did that. But how many of you are following up, sending more emails and phone calls and more emails and phone calls, calling up, finding out the decision makers, sending them the emails? You got to keep at it. We always talked about that saying, that's fortune in the follow up. Well, it's the same thing with prospecting. You got to keep following up, because you never know when they're going to be ready to talk to you. And right now in our footprint, we have some states that are starting to open up different business segments. So those segments that are opening up, make sure that you're attacking those and going after them, and keep keep following up and following up and following up and sending them emails and making phone calls. So let's shift it up a little bit now. And what I want to do, you guys have seen this guy on the broadcast before. I mean, he's been around for 13 years, Chairman's Club, President's Club for I think 10 straight years. He's been on the broadcast a lot of times. But Ben Hill, I mean, he keeps plugging away. I think last month he had like $42,000. Another, again, just Mr. Consistency. So Ben, what are some of the tips you can give to folks?
Hey Tim, wanted to send you a quick message, just touching base on some of the success that I was able to have last month. I think when I look back at it, it really came back to, I would say, one primary thing and then a secondary thing. The primary thing is just following up. I had some good proposals that were out there that looked really strong and were very promising, and I just kept following up on the proposals. I mean, what else is there to do, right? Follow up on what's out there. The other thing is, and this is something I'm starting to see this month, is technician leads, is really realizing these guys are still out there working and partnering with them to help them, maybe capture some business that they wouldn't be able to get on their own or don't have time to get on their own. So hope that helps.
So the big takeaways that Ben's talking about, and I swear I feel like a broken record sometimes, but following up on all those past proposals and with the customers, following up. And, I think Jordan Bosman says this, it's never no, it's just a not now. But, so following up is so important, especially right now. And again, he also talked about the relationship with the route managers because they are out there, they know the businesses that are open. So speaking of Jordan Bosman, again, he's on the top of the list again last month at $47,000. So Jordan, just talk again about what you're doing out there to be successful day in and day out.
Not much has changed on how I operate on a day-to-day basis. I'm still out there grinding every single day, the same I was pre-pandemic versus where we are now. Still out there doing everything that I can to try to generate business, whether it be general pest control or Vital Clean or mosquitoes, anything that we can, offer. The silver lining that I'm seeing for a lot of this whole pandemic is I'm getting in front of a decision maker a lot easier than I was before. And the reason why is just because a lot of these companies have laid people off, laid staff off because they can't pay them. And so I'm seeing decision makers, boots on the ground in the kitchen, doing prep or behind the front counter or in the offices. So the great thing is I'm able to get in front of the decision maker a lot easier, talk to them about what we can offer versus relying on a general manager to relay that information to the ownership in hopes that they'll buy in for that. The other component that I'm seeing as well is a lot of construction still taking place. That's the one thing that has yet to cease. And so a lot of these office buildings and hotels are still kind of going up. Same thing with restaurants. So going in and talking to these construction companies about maybe a rodent abatement program, because we all know that they can't deliver a building that has an active rodent issue or active infestation or whatever. So trying to get the business on that aspect. And then also ask them, who's the management company that's going to be taking over? Because when they hand those keys over to whomever that's going to be, I want to get their information as well. So it's almost kind of like a double dip. You can sell the rodent control abatement program to the construction company. Then when they deliver the building, the equipment most likely is already going to stay there. So we can obviously reservice that once management takes over and say, hey, listen, we've been here, we've been doing the rodent abatement. This is what we can offer for your general pest control. Here's some cost savings because the equipment's already here. So kind of positioning it that way, but still seeing a lot of this construction going up. So that's really a plus to generating more business. And at the end of the day, you got to do what's right and make money for yourself and your family. And then also, any sale helps our region, division, as well as the company as a whole. So it's a win-win.
Thanks, Jordan. Appreciate you, man. So Jordan, what he's talking about is not much has changed as far as his daily grind that he's out there. He's out there every day, beating the streets, trying to find, shake the trees to find the general pest control and the Vital Clean the opportunities. And what he's talking about makes a lot of sense as far as it's easier to get the decision makers. So we talked about a little earlier in the broadcast, with some layoffs and things like that, some companies are running on skeleton crews, that it's easier to get to the decision makers. And also what he's talking about is the construction, the construction sites and things like that. It's talking about the different verticals and shifting verticals to see what's open and what's going on right now. Like we talked about a little while ago in different states where there's different segments of businesses opening up, you got to target those and be smart about it. And really kind of when I listen to these 5 folks that just spoke and they're in the top 10 and a lot of them are constantly in the top 10, it seems to be a common theme, and the same thing with like last month when we did this broadcast, and what the folks were saying there in this one is that the bottom line is this: you got to work harder than you have. You just do, because that's just the way it is. You got to work harder. The relationship with your route managers is super important to your success, because they are the eyes and ears out there. You know, you have 2, 3, 4, 5 route managers in your territory. You know, they're seeing out there with their stops. They're still working. They're still going into businesses. So make sure you're building those relationships and communicating with them throughout the day about what they're seeing. Work as a team. The other thing is using the materials that are given to you, like Patty talking about, like the marketing materials for the VitaClean. You know, kind of being different with the envelopes, what she's doing. You know, so they're thinking a little bit outside the box. And then the other thing is the following up. You know, last month, for the month of April, we put out almost $4 million in VitaClean proposals. And I know a lot of that was in the beginning, you know, with the 95 cents a square foot, and we adjust that right. We adjusted the price right. And if you're having problems with any kind of pricing, make sure you're talking to your branch and your branch manager and your region sales manager to go over the pricing, because, you know, we've kind of adjusted that now to shifting it to how much time that it costs, so that we're super competitive with it. But we have $4 million and we closed $252,000. So there's a lot of proposals that are out there that we need to be following up on. Keep following up on it. And you need to take all these different things that people are doing are successful, make it your own, and put it in your day. You know, your day shouldn't be sitting at home just sending emails out all day. It shouldn't be, you know, just trying to make phone calls all day. You got to do the same mix that you've always done. Being disciplined, where in the morning where you're calling on certain businesses and taking some time to send emails and getting out there, working with the route managers and following them, going out with businesses with them. Of course, 6 feet apart with your masks on, all that kind of stuff. Be safe, but you got to get out there and you got to work. You know, staying at home, it's not going to help provide for your family. So with that being said, I hope you got some notes out of this broadcast. Please put them on the group me. You know, some of the things that you're going to do, and let's share the ideas. And also on the group me, like the NED Excellence one, or Commercial Excellence, share some ideas of what's working, what you're seeing, successes that you're finding at different businesses that you're having success in and stuff like that. Let's work as a team, because as a team, we could accomplish anything. And as Eric Thomas always said, winners win, and we're all a bunch of winners. So let's win May and let's kick butt. And just follow the process, you know, making sure your day's full, asking the right questions, you know, doing the right inspection, taking a lot of pictures, offering all the different services that customer can benefit from, that they need. Make sure you're using a guarantee, and you also have rack available now. You can take advantage of doing a VitaClean, and they won't have a bill until September, 90 days. We'll send them a bill in 90 days to pay it off. So the RAC is a great tool that you have now in your belt. So with that being said, I really appreciate everything that you're doing. Thank you so much for your hard work. Be safe. Make sure you're wearing your mask. Wash your hands. And have a great May. Thank you all.